Our guest today, founder of OEO Hospitality, owner-operator of Knotty Barrel, Rancho Penasquitos, and now Upper East on Grand in Escondido, California, Mr. James Thorpe. James, thanks for having us today. And I was familiar with this building from a previous restaurant, and when it left, my heart was broken. They did one thing that was just so special. They had this signature dish for me. At the time, I was in culinary school, and I'd never heard this combination of a dish. And I just kept going back for that reason. Nobody else wanted to go. The kids, and they didn't want to go because it was a beer bar and they didn't really want to go. But right. And we're drawing. So when I saw it go, I had interviewed the previous owners of Plan 9, and we had such a good time. And then when they left, I was just like, oh man, where am I going now? And I was forced to kind of look for other places. And when we came into your place recently, maybe a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, we were just like, oh, wow. You know what I mean? Like, what a great replacement, if there was one for them. What a great new thing in town. I mean, we've tried all the rest of the spots on this street at various times, but I was truly impressed. From the just the aesthetic.
Yeah.
I had this. I love Brussels sprouts, and you have an incredible Brussels sprout. And I'm almost at the point where I can say I am a aficionado of Brussels sprouts. There was a craze a few years ago where everybody wanted to have a beer version, like at Stone or something.
Right.
And I'd make them at home. I used to work at a restaurant down San Diego that did all healthy vegan style stuff, and it was a lot of Brussels sprouts. And I've pickled Brussels sprouts, and I've just tried all kinds of Brussels sprout dishes. But something about yours was particularly good. Now, I don't know if they're putting it in just a regular oven or they're doing something particularly different, but they were so perfectly cooked. And the seasoning, and I could have eaten the whole bowl. Had she not been with me,
right. I
would have probably eaten the whole bowl. That would have been my dinner. That's how good they were.
It's been a popular dish, like you mentioned. The Brussels sprouts from the beginning, a lot of people have responded, and it's been one of the top sellers that we have here. It's kind of that elote style, roasted corn, jalapeno lime crema, some pickled onion. I agree with you.
Yeah, it's so perfect. So thank you for having us down. Thank you for having us on the show. It's always nice to welcome somebody new to town, and because I'm not saying we starve out here, but it's sparse, that are really truly delicious things. You know what I mean? There's good pizzas and tacos everywhere, but something about a combination for me of ambiance, service, just the attitude of the owner, which sets the tone, in my opinion, for the whole crew. And then just have a good selection of things, so a welcoming place that has kind of all it dialed in for me. And I'm hard on places that, they have great food. They have great food, but then the service is not good. Right. Or just the general attitude of the people in general. It's not really about the customer. And then, of course, having the aesthetic. There's places that you just want to sit. Like a day in this building on the summertime with the front door open, it is just next level. So, welcome.
Yes, no, happy to be here. And you kind of just touched on the three things that we preach, right? At multiple places that I've opened, and, even regarding this one 9 months ago, we talk about the three things all the time. Having that customer service is obviously the most important, right? The customer is who pays the bills. So if people don't acknowledge that or understand that, customer service is one of the three, obviously. Having a great food and beverage product is number two, putting the quality and the time into a great food product, like we mentioned, the Brussels. Yeah. Having a great selection of specialty cocktails, beer and wine. Yeah. And then the third thing is that ambiance. And those are the three things, I preach about, and I really try to nail and make sure those are the top three.
Well, you've done it. You were mentioning some other places that you've had before that precipitated this place.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. What were they like?
I started, 26 years ago in San Diego. Wow. From the good old Pacific Beach days when you're, in your young 20s.
Yeah. PB.
Moose McGillicuddy's back in the day. And then I was working downtown on the Gas Lamp in 2000 and worked at some great places, more nightlife bars. Okay. As you get older, things change. You kind of start wanting to learn more. And I was working with RMD Group, great management group. They were the ones that were, at Stingery back in the days. They broke off and opened up, Flux nightclub as well. I was with them for that opening. They opened up the great restaurant, Rustic Root, was right there on Fifth Avenue. That has a nice rooftop area to it as well.
Okay.
They just actually opened a second location over here in Solana Beach, another Rustic Root. And it really got me involved in restaurant operations. And, and like we talked about those three things, having that quality food and beverage product. And then I branched off on my own in 2019 to open up my first restaurant that I was kind of the major owner and partner of, which was Knotty Barrel in Rancho Penasquitos. Okay. And that's where I grew up, actually. And that's south here, probably about 7 miles, or so.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, what if you could say there was one thing at one period of time in your life that you just decided this is what you wanted to do? Was there one thing or a time where you just saw, like for me, there's a restaurant that I still, it's my favorite spot to go in California, anywhere. Houston's. It's in Irvine. They used to have a chain of them in LA. I talk about it too much on this show, but it's like, for me, it's the epitome of everything you want in a dining experience in that one place. And I always go before I lived in San Diego, I had been to this place numerous times, and I just said, if I ever open a restaurant, this is the kind that I want. Just that kind of.
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting story. I was, growing up in San Diego for the most part. Graduating high school here, going to San Diego State. I was doing a lot of coaching basketball at my previous high school, and I came to that fork in the road. I was working late nights in the industry. Yeah. And I kind of had to decide what route I wanted to take as far as did I want to continue to coach basketball and kind of go down that path and use my Bachelor of Science I got in coaching and kinesiology, or I really enjoyed this other aspect of being involved in restaurants and bars and nightlife. Yeah. And ultimately, I kind of made that decision. I couldn't do them both anymore. I was getting burned out too much with the late nights and early mornings. Yeah. So I kind of routed toward that and put all in, and really started working in every aspect of restaurants and kitchens and nightlife that I could. That's cool. So that's kind of where it fanned that flame, and I continued to enjoy it. And I found out it was a job really that was something for me where I get to stay active, I get to talk to people, and I really enjoyed the hospitality part in it.
Well, you're doing a great job so far.
Thank you.
So let's talk about your menu for a minute.
Yeah.
I mentioned the Brussels sprouts. Because they're just, wow. I think we had sliders last time we were here. We had the burger, and it was chicken sandwich.
Oh, the chicken sandwich.
Yep. What is your favorite thing on the menu, if you had to narrow down to a couple?
I would probably say, so there's a couple actually, and it all depends what mood I'm in, right? So the menu that we have here, you kind of call it that American cuisine, which is an everything cuisine. So we have, really great pastas and salads. We'll have a steak dish rotating in and out. Great appetizers come from, ahi poke stacks to Bavarian pretzels to great wings that we brine. And then, but my kind of go-to items either, and I'm usually one that grab and go. I'm scarfing something in the back in 2 minutes and getting back out on the floor. So I love the chicken sando that you mentioned. It has the bacon avocado. The chipotle aioli is a really nice, gives it a little zing to it. And then, I'm usually just scarfing that down and getting back on the floor. It's either that or a smash burger is kind of our all-composed burger. Yeah. That has the garlic aioli, dill pickles, caramelized onions, and that's a nice quick one. But we have some amazing dishes like our bourbon glazed salmon right now with some fingerling potatoes. That's amazing. It's just something that I personally can't sit down and eat.
Yeah, you can't eat it with one hand.
Yeah, our carnitas we braise in house, we season in house. It's it's something that's been very popular. People love our carnitas mac and cheese. We also have a carnitas sandwich.
So tell me more about that carnitas mac and cheese. So do you do the carnitas in here? You do it here.
Yep.
And I love a good mac and cheese.
Yeah, it's been popular, especially with the weather we've been having here. People want that comfort food, and it's been one of the top sellers since we've opened.
I had a pickled serrano mac and cheese once. It's just, it's a dish that is just so filling. It's fatty. It's delicious. You just feel full, but you don't feel you don't feel sick.
Yep.
You feel, it's nice.
You feel comfortable.
You feel very warm and snuggly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So, you said yours is the sliders. And
Smash burger.
Smash burger.
Yep.
You do fries?
We do. So we have our regular fries, which are amazing. They're a little beer batter, give it a little bit of crisp.
Okay.
But a lot of people like to upgrade their side. We have rosemary tater tots, truffle parm fries. We also have a sweet potato fry with a nice little chili lime seasoning. That one's always nice,
God, I think we should stay after and eat. Yeah. We were debating because I have kids at home and was going to have to make something, but I don't know. Maybe we're going to treat ourselves. So awesome, man. So tell us. I mean, do you have things going on in the week here, like things that people can look forward to coming every week, like I don't know, bingo or something?
Absolutely. No, we have weekly specials, and we try to do something every day. Whether it's during the football season, we do the NFL Sunday Ticket, and we have Monday Night Football with some food specials and drink specials. When it's not football season right now, we have like a burger and beer special that we actually do year round, where you order either our smash burger or our classic grand burger, which is a half pound. You get to choose your cheese with it. It comes with French fries, and a certain selection of beers is only $1. So that's kind of a nice special. Tuesdays, we do live trivia, which is really fun. At 7 p.m., we fill this room up with people that love trivia. We also do a $6 pint, or draft pints, so we kind of do a beer special with that.
Yeah.
Wednesday, we just released actually last month, or about a month and a half ago, Unplugged, which is our live music at 7 p.m. as well. So we have a lot of local artists that come in here and play from 7 p.m. to about 10 p.m. We do happy hour drink specials as well at 7 p.m. So, and then Thursday, we do a half-off bottled wine from day to night. So we open at 11 o'clock for lunch, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And on Thursday, starting at 11, any bottle you want here is a half off. So.
Oh man! Speaking our language. Yeah. Speaking our language. So let's go over that trivia night. I'm a trivia guy. What night is that again?
Yep, Tuesday night at 7 p.m.
Tuesday night at 7 p.m.
Yep, about 2 hours, 7 to 9 p.m. And we do live trivia where we get a lot of teams that come in here. It's a lot of general information trivia. So you have to, everyone has their own sheet. They turn in their answers. They read them out. They score it throughout the night. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, and then the music is. I'm sorry. What day is that?
Wednesday.
Yep. You going to do any weekend music as well? Or?
Not right now. Wednesdays, they're a little busy. We need all the space that we have.
Yeah.
I will say Fridays are, the busiest. People get off school, people get off work. They don't want to cook. They come out. And that's really the main day that we get a little bit of a wait.
Yeah.
But other than that, usually there's tables available. You can come on in. And, obviously, gosh, in about, I want to say like 6 weeks, we got Cruising Grand coming up in April, which even kind of brings another element of a lot of fun vibe and buzz to the street.
A lot of traffic. Have you been here for one of those yet?
We just had one, yeah. So when we opened, it just started because they were doing the construction of the street.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun to see the energy. And once again, people come out. It really makes the Grand Avenue a destination for those outside communities like San Marcos and Vista and Rancho Bernardo and Ramona. And you see a lot of people from all over that come up here and check out all the cars.
You must have been slammed at that time.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's people come in, want to get out of the sun for a little bit, have a nice beer, some great food, and then work their way back out there and check out their cars.
Are you getting much of from the area around here? Getting much in the way of lunch, like a lunch crowd?
Yep, we start lunch Wednesdays. So Monday and Tuesday, we actually just open up at 3 p.m. just in time for happy hour, which we have Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. with food specials and drink specials. But yeah, lunch crowd Wednesday is kind of when I typically start my lunches. People will get out of the office on Wednesday or Monday, Tuesday. They typically stay in there. Wednesday, they kind of work their way out. We get a nice little lunch crowd on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
I've been looking for a place like this to be able to just pull up. You know what I mean? Like you're out going to the market, or you're going to go down, I don't know where, somewhere in Escondido, and you're on the way home. Just stop off, grab a quick bite to eat before I head home. And it's for me, it's rare. So it's welcome, because sounds really great. I used to go to this place when I was younger in Long Beach called Joe Jost's. It's been around since 1925, and they've been doing exactly the same thing all since then. And it's just that kind of place where you can go grab a sandwich, pickled eggs, some pretzels and mustard, play a little air hockey or something, and then just have a couple beers and just go home. And this is, to me, that kind of place. There aren't that many where you can just casually do it. Yep. Not without having to make a reservation or call the wife and bring the kids down and do all, but just to stop in and have a quick thing and then go. I love that.
And that's kind of our concept to a certain extent. If you're just wanting to come out after work, get a beer on your way home, or if you want to have a family dinner and you bring the whole family out, if you're on a date night and you want to come out and have just a kind of a nice one-on-one, and have some great cocktails, some great bourbon selections, this is a place for all of those.
And you've got a real nice setup too, because it is narrow, the building, but it feels roomy. Which is different. And then because you have that roll-up door at the front there, when it opens up into the patio, you kind of bring in some of that energy from the outside.
Absolutely.
That's also real attractive to me.
That was very important for us, actually, when we were looking at various locations to open the second one. That garage door really gave us that indoor-outdoor feel that we were looking for.
The difference between the previous place too was also they only did beer.
Yep.
And you have a full bar. And it's an attractive bar too. You know what I mean? Like it's from aesthetically, it's nice to look at.
That was definitely one of our main points when we were coming and looking at locations as well. We felt the people of Escondido, especially on Grand Avenue, they were missing a certain concept. There was a lot of great places here that I still go to all the time, but there are a lot of counter order or there are a lot of beer and wine. So we wanted to come here and really create a great visual of when you walked in, you see the shelving, the lit up bottles of bourbons and vodkas. You have the TVs behind the bar for that underlining sports. You have your 20 taps, and you could tell people come in and like, oh, full bar. This is exciting, and having that full service component as well, where they're not going up to a counter and just getting a number, was something that I definitely felt was needed. On Grand Avenue.
Yeah, I think also too the selection. You don't have just the basic selection. You've got some premium stuff in there.
Yeah, we got some exciting stuff. You know, we got some E.H. Taylors up there, the Blantons, we get the Midwinter Dram from High West. There's a lot of fun things that, people will come out and try some out, the Eagle Rares and, just to name a few.
No, it sounds like, I'm just, going off what you're saying. Are you possibly a brown liquor guy?
I do not discriminate against any type of liquor.
Okay.
I love my margaritas. I love my old fashions.
Yeah.
Many decades ago when everyone was just drinking vodka Red Bulls, that was me as well. So
I used to be a Scotch guy.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Just Scotch.
Yep.
And then I worked at a place where they had lots of bourbons.
Yep.
And then I started looking at all these bourbons and I'm going, yeah. I think you have Weller up there, don't you?
Yeah, we got some Weller. My go-to, I've been doing some Whistle Pig old fashions is what I've been doing lately.
Okay.
I'm also I'm a beer and wine guy as well. I actually just enjoy a really good draft. We have a couple of Russian River beers on tap, which is really nice. Blind Pig IPA we have year round, and then we have a rotational. We get some Pliny the Elder.
Yeah, Pliny.
Wine Circus. Oh, we get Pliny the Elder on as well. Yeah, that one's on our rotational one.
On a tap.
Yep. Right now is the Hop Father, which is a fun IPA from Russian River. That's on our rotational. But the Blind Pig is here year round, and then we kind of have some fun with some rotationals.
Tell me about that Weller, because I'm a Weller guy.
Yes.
Do you have more than the Reserve and a couple other ones? Or?
We have the Special Reserve. I think we have the 12-year up there right now, and a lot of those are tough to get. So we kind of, whenever something comes available, we'll gobble it up and put it up there once there's place for it.
And I have to compliment you one more time because I've had people on the show before, and maybe as well as a restaurateur they might be or a chef that they might be, they oftentimes don't necessarily have the enthusiasm to talk about their business. And I always find it funny because I'm like, this is your opportunity to kind of beam about yourself and your place. And so they tend to clam up a little bit. You definitely are enthusiastic about what you do. And I think for me, that is a big feather in your cap, because that enthusiasm, that energy, the attitude towards, your business and how to better it and how to groom it and keep it going is it's so important to a success of anything. But you definitely have that energy of passion for this.
Yeah, you have to get in the restaurants. It's a very difficult, frustrating, but very rewarding job, right? Yeah. It's something where I have 2 kids and my little son. I'm like, he's not going to own restaurants. I'll try to keep him away from this because there is so much into it. But I really enjoy it, and it has to be a passion of yours to make it successful, in my opinion. And I enjoy talking to the guests, our regulars. Being open here 9 months, we have great regulars. I love the people of Escondido that have come in here and just talking with them, hearing their stories, giving them a place where they can come with their families or their friends is always very exciting. And I think, it starts from the top down. So if I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty, I'm bussing tables, I'm taking orders. I always tell people I'm the first one to, go grab some trash cans and, or fix the bathrooms if that's broken. Yeah. It's the trickle down effect. And I think the employees buy into it as well. And I always tell people you have to enjoy people if you're in hospitality.
Oh, boy.
And I definitely do.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right. You definitely have to have some grit in this business, from what I've seen. You also have to have a passion for it. You got to be willing to pivot, make changes that are necessary. Wow. That's cool, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, just being open 9 months, we've here in Escondido, we actually had the Escondido Eats Awards that were put on by the City of Commerce, and we won Best New Restaurant. That was very exciting. And then we won Best Overall Bar of 2025. We won Best Customer Service, Best Ambiance, kind of the things we talked about, right? Those 3 things that were very important. We actually have an amazing blackened ahi salad that actually won Best Salad.
Really?
And then we won Best it was best value, which is important too. You know, so many places you go there and you get a specialty cocktail, and it's like, I went out last night, not to name the places, but there was a $30 margarita, you know, $32 old fashioned, and we keep our pricing at, you know, $12 to $13 for those specialty cocktails. We're trying to make it affordable, and we want people to be able to come here and not just on a special occasion, but to be able to come here and have some really great value.
Yeah, be here a lot, you know, and come in on a casual, regular basis.
Absolutely.
You know, funny enough, you're talking about pricing on drinks. My wife here, we'd go out to restaurants and I like, you know, nice liquor, right? So I'd ask, excuse me, how much is this? Because before I see this on the menu, and I'm just, want to know before.
100%.
I don't want to pay $100 for a shot of something.
Right.
So my wife would always be like, stop, just, come on, have some class. So we went to a restaurant recently, and it was a nicer place, but the guy said, what do you have? You got 3 tequilas or 4 tequilas. We have these and this and that. And he goes, I said, I'll just take that one. I was talking to some of my friends that were all talking to me, and I said, I'll just take that one. The bill comes, and it was $49 for the shot. And I finally got her on board because she was like, okay, all right.
Yeah, you never know.
You can ask.
Yeah.
You can ask. It's fine. So are there any plans for like other locations? Do you have that kind of feel for it? Or
Yeah, we actually are looking at a third location potential right now. It's, we've actually looked at a couple of things here on Grand Avenue for other concepts.
Really? Wow.
And we've looked at a similar concept a little bit farther, south. So there's always plans for expansion. We have the 2 locations now, the one Knotty Barrel in Rancho Penasquitos, and this location, Upper East. And, we're kind of continuing to grow, and it's really
cool.
Just myself and one other business partner. And
I wish you well.
Yeah,
I wish you well.
I appreciate it.
Do you want to tell us a bit about the Knotty Barrel?
Knotty Barrel's been great. It's a kind of a staple in Rancho Penasquitos. We're having our 7-year anniversary coming up next month. Okay. So that's always a little fun. We do some live music, and we do some bourbon tastings. And
wow.
So that's always a lot of fun, but very similar concept to this.
Okay.
And then, really what we like to do is looking at that third location is kind of similar. We want to be in that neighborhood to get that neighborhood feel. Even though we're in Escondido, Grand Avenue, historic downtown area, majority of our crowd are locals, and we really want to kind of cater toward them and make sure they know this is a place they can call home.
Is the Knotty Barrel much different in like the menu or the?
Very similar style menu. Okay. Some different items catered to, Escondido versus Rancho Penasquitos.
Yeah.
We like to change our menu up seasonally. So a lot of people, we had a nice corn poblano linguine here when we first opened. Then corn goes out of season during wintertime. Yeah. And we brought in this really nice Italian sausage rigatoni, and people were like, what did you do? It's coming back, so people don't have to worry about it. But we like to change things up seasonally between the 2 restaurants as well.
As much as, do you have some staples though? Like, do you have some that stay on the menu regardless?
Yep. Like those Brussels. We make room.
Yeah,
we try to keep the Brussels on there year round. And then obviously some of our burgers and salads and sandwiches are just so great, and they're the top sellers. We don't like to mess with them.
As much as having a seasonal menu is good, it's those things that you really yearn for on the off season. Like a peach cobbler or something. Something that is only cut for this narrow window. Like that dish I was from here before. It was just so. It was like nothing else.
Yep.
It was skirt steak rubbed in coffee grounds and lavender and served with a chimichurri. And I was just like, okay, you can't take that off the menu.
Right.
Don't do that. And then they took it off, and I was like, I was crestfallen. I even told them, I said, what? And then they were like, well, yeah, but the chef changed. And I went, don't change the chef, bro.
Right.
Because it was just very unique, for me. And I think those Brussels sprouts are definitely something you definitely want to keep on the menu.
You kind of brought up our chef team. It's been something, my chef team, same team we hired at Knotty Barrel. And he's worked at, with the Trust Group as well.
Okay.
Christian Webb's phenomenal. He's been, helped us open up this place, and he has some really great, number 2s. It really is important for him to be able to teach and coach the number 2s. And our culinary team is amazing. They really care. Again, you have to have, just like my front of house managers, you have to have those back of house chefs that care about their food, making sure they're doing it the right way, making sure they're making the great product, and they hold everyone accountable.
How long has your chef been working again?
He's been with me for 7 years, so it's been great. And he kind of was bounced around a couple places, like I said, with Trust Group, where he was at what was it, Fort Ord and Rare Society for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm fortunate to have him, and he's going to help us out with the third location too.
Awesome. Will the third location have a different name, or it'll be upper?
Will be a different name, kind of specific to their community. So it's kind of gives it, once again, that more of a local feel, which we really want to cater toward.
I'm looking forward to when they the social. What's it called? The billiards place.
Oh yeah. Oh,
when that comes in, that's going to drag in a lot of people.
I want Grand Avenue to have 7 more food and beverage places, right?
Man,
a lot of downtown places, working in the gas lamp, living in Little Italy. All ships rise with the tide. So it's something where if we could have, make this more of a destination on weekends, where right now it's kind of just locals kind of walking around, Friday and Saturday night, until, you get Cruising Grand, where you have 1,000 people or hundreds of people walking up and down. That gives such great energy. So if we can get that billiards place open, a couple other restaurants, more the merrier. People are always like, oh, why do you want more, competition? I'm like, no. It brings more people.
Oh, foot traffic.
And it's great. Like I said, I love supporting all the businesses and restaurants here. I love going to the Downtown Business Association meetings. We volunteer for as many, events. We did an event with City Hall. That was with the Chamber of Commerce. We're doing another one with the Rotary Club, where we donate some food and kind of really help out with the community. We just were a part of the Chocolate Festival that took place last Saturday. So we try to get as involved as we can with the community. We've done already numerous fundraisers with the Escondido Youth Baseball. We've done some with the Classical Academy over here. So we try to really get involved as much as we can.
Awesome. Are you doing any kind of catering too? Is there open for special events or stuff like that?
We've done some special events here. We actually had Mission Pools company come here during the holidays on December, and we do a lot of catering events on site. So it's something we have event menus, people more reception style, and they rented out the entire space, and
the whole building.
The whole building. They took it out, and they had 100 people come through, and they had an amazing time on our TVs. We had a lot of their videos from their work and for the previous year, and it was a lot of fun. So holiday parties are great here.
So you'd tailor it for their given thing. That's awesome. Man, I tell you, I can't say it enough. What a great addition to Escondido. I am concerned about a couple things as far as Escondido is concerned. The parking. I'm wondering how when this place. Because right now, I don't know. I've been around here in a while, but when I came in here just shortly, maybe a few months ago, it seemed like a lot of empty buildings. And when those get filled, and there's heaving capacity of people, there's lots of shops and shopping to go to. I'm concerned a little bit about the parking.
It is a topic, and it's brought up at all the meetings I go through with the city. The mayor, Dane, he talks about that as well. I will say also, Escondido, it's a shift, right, where a lot of people. These lots that are free behind Grand Avenue are amazing. And a lot of people, yes, they fill up quickly, especially on Friday and Saturdays. But then I park maybe a block away, and I'm only 1 block away from the downtown. So there's still a lot of street parking available. I will say, though, as it continues to grow, there has been talks of structures and various things that they need to look at, which you never want. They're an eyesore, but if they're off, the main streets, but then you look at some of the most popular places in San Diego, like Little Italy, for instance. Talk about a nightmare of parking, but it's still one of the busiest places, and it is.
I don't know how they manage it. I don't, because that to me, I feel lucky when we've gone down there and just find a parking spot. I'm like,
oh my gosh,
you might as well get on your knees and pray.
Ticket.
I went to a place not long ago, 2023. I went to a place up in it's called North. It's Upper Whittier, and they had the same kind of setup that Grand has. All the little shops, but they were just heaving with business. Like a music shop and a cigar shop, and I just thought of all the people. They're not even going to a particular destination. They're just kind of hanging there. But it wasn't a negative group. It was a bunch of young people, buying some CDs, or not CDs, but, stopping off to the whatever, T-shirt shop or the whatever. It would be nice. It would be nice to have that fun energy that I don't know where that exists in North County. I think of like Vista. I think of Carlsbad. I don't feel that communal kind of, like they do during the Cruising Grand, for example. Everyone's there for the reason about, they're coming together for those old cars, and they want to talk about the cars, and, hey, how you doing? Here's a T-shirt, that kind of fun vibe that could be created on this street would be, it would be intoxicating.
The goal is to have it weekly, right?
Something like that.
Not just once a month per these events. But, I do see, and another reason why we came to Escondido was I feel it is on the upward swing. I feel a lot of my friends have been moving to Escondido over the last couple of years.
Really? Great.
And I feel that it's a generational thing, right? Where you get some younger people that like to go out a little bit more. They have young families and they need a place to go out and have fun. I think a lot less people are cooking at home than what they were before, and they want to check out some new spots. So hopefully Escondido continues that growth in the downtown area, and some of these empty businesses get full. Yeah. I'm hoping their food and beverage are fun places to kind of make it more of a destination.
Yeah, just shop and maybe I don't know, take your dry cleaning or I don't know whatever business. Just stop places that you can go and hit 3 or 4 different spots, and then stop off to Upper East and have a bite to eat.
Exactly.
That's the way to go.
More the merrier.
So again. Unless you want to talk about something else, I think we did it.
No, I think we covered a lot.
James Thorpe from Upper East on Grand. Thank you so much for being on the show and chatting to me about your fantastic business. I'll be back many times, and we'll hope to see you soon, man. We look forward to your next evolution, the third, the trio. We look forward to that.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll come back and talk about it then.
100%.
So again, thank you. Have a great day. Listen, everybody, thank you for listening to the show. It's so nice to talk to fun people in the food business, and we hope you enjoy the show. If you do, please like, follow, subscribe, and don't forget to comment. And you know what? Go to Instagram and look up Upper East on Grand, and to go give them a like, subscribe, and follow. And, come down here to Grand and patronize some of the businesses. And don't forget to stop off at Upper East and get yourself a bite to eat for yourself, the family, or maybe just a cold beer. All right, guys, take care. Have a good day.